But first up, first inductee into the doghouse today. This team here has had some controversy going on throughout the second half of the season. Haven't been really good against top teams in the NBA. Best player has had some controversy himself. And if you look at what happened in this playoffs, you probably believe that they were better off just staying at home. Who am I referring to? I am talking about the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies, people, have just been swept out of the playoffs. Not only have they been swept out of the playoffs, do you know that there wasn't one person on that team that averaged over 20 points per game in this series? Not one. Now, John Morant gets the excuse because he got injured, and he was pretty much non-existent. Team pretty much just non-existent after that. But they also didn't have a person on the team average double-digit rebounds. From what I remember, Jaren Jackson Jr. was considered a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. But in this series alone, he only averaged 5 rebounds per game. I don't understand how he can be a Defensive Player of the Year when defensive rebounding is a part of that. And he just wasn't doing his job on that part of this game. Zach Edey, who's a rookie, don't get me wrong, he is tall, but he only averaged 8 rebounds per game. That's not good enough. Desmond Bane, who was, everyone know he's a really good player. He averaged about 35 minutes per game, but he only averaged a measly 15.3 points per game. Now, that has a lot to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder's defense. But you can't have one person average 20 points per game, and then you got swept. I mean, this is kind of sort of what's going to happen when you fire your head coach before the playoffs come. So this is kind of your fault. I already talked about the GM having to, pretty much fire his head coach before they even get to the playoffs, when they were literally 8 games left in the regular season before they got to the playoffs. I mean, we know another team that did the same thing, and they're 2-2 right now, so I guess it's okay for them. But the Memphis Grizzlies, they have nothing to stand on. They can't hold water. The team averaged 100 points, which is okay, I guess. But in this day and age, you got to average at least 110, 115 points per game to compete nowadays, because this is an offensive game now. It's not that much of a defensive game. But the Oklahoma City Thunder held everyone in this series to under 20 points per game. Ja averaged 18.3, and he missed the last game. And missed the third quarter on in game 3. And speaking of game 3, they were up 29 points, 26 points at halftime. And they still figured out a way to lose that game. Yes, I understand John Morant went down, but you're up 29 points in that game and you can't hold a 29-point lead? Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. can't do enough? Scottie Pippen Jr. had 23 points at halftime. But they still couldn't do anything. Desmond Bane has shot abysmal in this series. I don't know. I don't know what was up with Desmond Bane in this series, but he did nothing well in this series. In the last game, he shot 25% from 3 and shot 35% from the 35% from the field. I don't know how that's going to get you to where you want to be. I mean, from what I remember and my recollection is that John Morant was upset that the offense wasn't flowing through him. Even with the offense flowing through him, while he was healthy, they still couldn't get a win against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, it possibly could have happened if he stayed healthy and in that game where they were up 29 points. But even the team couldn't do anything outside of that. And Scottie Pippen Jr. was the second leading scorer in the series. Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-NBA defensive player. You got Desmond Bane, who's been known to be a really good player in this league. And he's streaky, but he's had games where he can pretty much take over a game. And now, I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to figure out to move some pieces? I mean, I guess it's a good thing that Jaren Jackson Jr. didn't win the Defensive Player of the Year, because then they would have a whole lot of money that they would have to pay him. But the Grizzlies just don't look like a promising team in the future for right now or later on. I'm not sure who their head coach is going to be next. Who knows? They might go after Mike Malone. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to hire, but we'll see what happens when that comes. But now they can go ahead and enjoy Cancun. John Morant got injured, so I hope he gets healthy. But the Grizzlies just look bad. They look bad this entire series, honestly, other than that game when John Morant was healthy and they were up 29 points. But other than that, they couldn't get a win. And we may have another team to talk about soon to put in here, because there's another team that's on the verge of being swept. But right now, Memphis Grizzlies are in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.